Thou knowest not what thou sayest in speech? Dost thou know what thou teachest to each? From thine own mouth thy corrupt thine own house, thy corrupt thine siblings and thine own spouse. Satan has hold of thy spirit, so evil has hold of thy lyric. Whomsoever shall hear it shall adapt it, and walk the talk of evil just as ye wrapped it. But I cometh forth today to say thus: eat not of the dinner they serve, seek the experience them see, not the beginners in word.
We're going to be seeing these on and off in this commentary. And this is a lighthouse beacon, and they guide ships in at night so that they don't crash into nothing. We'll be seeing these because of the hoteps on here who be saying that black people don't need these. All the clips you'll hear, I'll try to keep under 4 minutes or less. And whatever you hear, just know that there are more. If you only hear one clip of one specific thing, just know that there are more. If I play 2 clips of the same thing, just know that there are more than that, because this dude is a habitual offender. And I'm not trying to make this 2 hours long playing the same thing too many times. Now let's hear part of Lex's opening statements to Taz on that thing that they called the debate.
Right before I started streaming. So yeah. So what format you want? What we doing? How we doing this? You want 5 minutes? I go 5 minutes. How you want to do this?
Man, it don't matter. Let's just get it in. I mean, this is simple. This is an easy wash. It's an easy. Shit don't even make no sense. Do the black community need leaders? Lead leaders. That's what we talking about. You want me to open?
Take off.
All right. It's simple as this, bro. There's no part in any society, any functioning community, whether it be a tribe, a clubhouse, or whatever, that does not have leaders. And it's stupid as hell for any black person to go around anywhere telling black people that they don't need leaders. Now, I told you the other night why I can understand why a broken, disappointed people might say that, because maybe they had some leaders that disappointed them. Maybe they had some leaders that mismanaged some stuff at one point in time. Maybe some leaders that didn't follow through on their promises. But to go to the dumb nigga extreme and say that we don't need leaders is just stupid as hell. And then what his reply was is black people don't need leaders. We just need to be leaders of our household. Which is the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life, because that's still leaders. And we don't live in isolates in the motherfucking household. That's not what a community is. It's not what a nation is, not what a city is, not what a country is. So yes, we need to be leaders in the household. I would think that's obvious. But you got to go outside, my nigga. Your kids got to go to school, my nigga. In a community, in a modern day society, we have schools, we have hospitals, we have government, we have education. So you show me anywhere where somebody doesn't have to lead in those fields. If you go to school, your school's gonna have a principal. That's called a leader, an organizer. In government, the government that's supposed to take care and look after the people, you have mayors, governors, presidents. Why? Because you can't have 100,000 motherfuckers trying to do one thing. So this is why people choose the best and brightest minds to lead in a specific function or a system. So when you elect a mayor of a city, when the people, the way it's supposed to work, that person is supposed to be the leader or the voice or the representative that's managing or organizing that city. You tell me how a city's gonna run or a people's gonna run if you just got 100,000 motherfuckers running around without a leader that's organizing and being the voice of the people as a collective. And like I told you earlier today, do you know that families are the unit of tribes? Tribes are the unit of cities. Cities lead to states. States lead to countries. This is how nations are built. And with each one of those things, you need leadership. Without leadership, the civil rights movement would have never happened. You got to have leadership, people to organize, people at the forefront, the brightest and best minds.
Taz in his anti-leadership position. In that, he must believe that airplanes can guide themselves onto the runway at night. And his first problem, his primary problem, is that he's a snake oil selling race hustler and a habitual liar. That's his first problem and the essence of him. And he's conceited. That's why he'd be over there on his channel sucking himself off every chance he gets.
So I said, fuck it, I'll do one. So now I gotta figure out what the fuck I'm gonna talk about, right? Cause I don't usually just go live and just sit here and say, hey, listen to me. Let me make up some shit right quick for you to listen to. You know what I mean? Like I usually have a subject matter I want to talk about, and right now I really don't. I'll probably think of one shortly. I hate this motherfucking out of town shit. What's the question? What's the random question? That's what I need, a random question. What's the random question? The random question might lead into a random topic. You know what I mean? What's the random question you got? You know I'm great on all topics. Wonderful with all questions.
Always talking about how great he is. He likes the way he tastes in his own mouth. He calls himself the GOAT. The greatest on all topics, it means. And later I'll tell you why I bring up his character and conceit and all that.
At some point, you're going to have to realize that I'm not hating on nobody. I'm trying to get us out of this old mindset where we elevate somebody just because they sound good, but ain't nothing being done. You got it, bro.
Really? Okay, bro. First of all, this is classic Taz deflection, not sticking to the subject, straw man arguments. First of all, no one said anything about Messiah complex. All right, we're not talking about. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. And I hope you people out there are listening close, because I can see we already got some deceived motherfuckers in the building. This nigga told me that black people don't need leaders, that the only leaders we need were leaders in the household. Now he's trying to come and act like I'm making an argument for the Messiah shit, like one divine leader, like Jesus or some shit. Bro, don't come to me with that conscious community shit either, nigga. I ain't from the motherfucking conscious community. We all in the fucking conscious community. But I ain't no motherfucking sauce Satan conscious community nigga. So stop trying to paint this bullshit ass picture. This is the dark side from the Dark Side Fitness Network Reloaded. So no one's making no argument about the Messiah shit. We need one leader and we're going around looking for the Messiah. See, that's the bullshit this nigga do. No, leaders are mostly born. Leaders just rise to the top. Leaders either study leadership or they end up being the leaders because that's just what they was born to be, or they have those characteristics and they will step into the forefront and take the lead. Nobody was roaming around looking for fucking Malcolm X. Nobody is scouring the earth. Oh, I need a leader. See, this is the type of silly ass shit that we pump to black people. Like, I'm a nigga that's riding around, or I'm just looking around. Oh, I need a leader before I can do anything. Even leaders at some time become followers, nigga. Even a leader knows when to follow. So this Messiah shit, that's a stupid ass argument. I said we need leaders in industry. Not and it has nothing to do. Then he tried to come and say this old time model. Nigga, you talking about universal, forever, universal principles. Wherever you at, nigga, even in the goddamn animal kingdom, you gonna have a leader of the pack amongst the wolves, nigga. You can have a leader of the pack amongst the lions on a fucking football team, in a community, and not just one leader. Not just one leader. You may have somebody, you talking about specialization. Nigga, if we dealing with economics as a community, there might be somebody who's expertise in that shit. They might have the most knowledge in economics. So they might be the person who step up to the community and say, yo, I got the information. This is how we got to move. This is how we got to invest. It's not a messiah, and it might not just be one. It might be 5 of them motherfuckers. So the messiah shit you talking about is stupid. And in terms of the diversity of a people, nigga, welcome to the universe. We know every black person is not the same, but the fundamentals of what people need is the same. And that's food, clothes, shelter, safety, health, education, the right to thrive.
That was Lex responding to Taz's "we don't need no one leader" nonsense. Nonsense because, as I've said a million times before, there has never been no one leader for black people. So why do these people keep saying that? The part Lex mentioned about diversity of a people, he was responding to Taz saying that because we're all different, no one person can represent everybody. Again, he telling the one leader lie. Next time you hear one of them say we don't need no one leader, just ask them. Ask them if you're on a panel with them or in the chat or on the comment board or in a video response. Ask them, which one person is every black person's leader today? Or ask them, what is the name of the one black person that was the leader of all black people at any point in history? Ask them. And I bet you won't get answered. You'll probably get cussed out, then blocked for making sense. But Taz's first problem on this matter, remember earlier I was talking about his problems. His first problem is that he refuses the definition and usages of the word leader. He wants leader to mean what he want it to mean. All right? And I understand we make up our own definitions to stuff. We create our own understanding about words. I get it. But when you try to teach your personal meaning as the gospel, now you're wrong. Especially when you're trying to have a discussion with people about it. Now that's why he sounds silly. Part of his faulty position reminds me of about something that happened about 5 years ago. I did some video about something, I don't remember what it was, but I made a mistake. I made a statement, and I said we have a relationship with white people. And this clown, not Taz, some other clown, came to my comment board, cussing me out and called me a couple of coons and a few other things. And he was telling me about slavery and redlining and racism and lynchings and all this stuff. So I did a video response telling clown that relationship only means a connection, to be linked, to be tied together. But he was trying to say that because it's been a hostile relationship, when I used the word relationship, it offended him. But relationship is not relegated or confined to good, bad, loose, or fragile. As long as something is connected, it's a relationship. And this is what Taz does with the words leader, leaders, and leadership. He says if it's not good, then it's not leadership.
Wrong.
As a matter of fact, let me show you a little bit about Taz's character, then I'll get to the main thing later.
Business is booming, everything is cool. I pull up out of G a week. Fuck school. A year goes by and I begin to grow. Not in height, but juice and cash flow. I kick back my feet and begin to watch TV. Cause now I got other people working for me. I got a 55-inch television, you know. And every once in a while I hear just say no. Or the other commercial I love. That's when they say this is your brain on drugs. I pick up my remote control and just turn. Cause with that bullshit I'm not concerned. See me and my brother jump in the beat. This what I don't get, man, about you niggas, man, you internet niggas, man. If BDP, KRS-One, Chris himself, one of the goats for sure. The teacher, nigga. If he was teaching this shit, he told you niggas how niggas get in the game. Like, do you niggas, where was you niggas at when this shit was coming? What the fuck?
Question. Can a man who tells people to not look for leadership outside of your own home be the same man who qualifies KRS-One as his teacher? My answer is no. What's your answer? Sitting in the car listening to a public figure being representative of what he believes in. Lex brought up how teachers are leaders, but Taz argued against it. While he constantly describes himself as a teacher and even has a channel called Taz Exclusives, The Teacher. Teachers are beacons, guides, leaders, which is silly so.
The smarter you get, it seems the dumber you get. The smarter our intellectuals become, the more cowardly they become.
Now this next clip I'm going to play is from 2020. Now Taz's thing is we don't need leadership, but he won't say it in those words no more since I let him know a while back how ridiculous he sounds. So he disguises it. He's been disguising it since then. He keeps lying when he says that he's not saying we don't need leadership. Let's hear him in 2020 hosting a panel on his own channel with his homies.
But I don't know. I get some of these people, like, I don't know, like, I don't know. Sometimes I be feeling sorry for our people because, like, they really do be needing people and shit like that. Like, need people to follow and shit, like, God damn, like, you don't have, like,
different shit, bro. And I just, like I said, I'm on something different because, like, that's what a lot of these people want sons. They want people to follow. They want them to say their name. And since I'm not for that, like, I'm telling you, I come off like I'm hating on niggas and this and that. It's like this comment right here. It speaks to what I was just saying, bro.
That's Taz's buddy named Midtown Pookie. Now, if Taz wasn't on that panel brainwashing them into thinking that we don't need leadership, then why was his buddy on there saying, I feel sorry for black people because we need to follow people? That's because Taz set the mood up there, but he will no longer say the words, we don't need leadership. But let's hear one of the ways that he's been disguising those words.
Remedial. Your whole community remedial when it comes to the GOAT. I'm just trying to show you my argument so that way when you go back and do them crybaby videos about how great my content is, you'll have a better understanding than what that remedial shit you over there doing right now. Because I've never said black people don't need to support one another. We just don't need to keep following people. Because what ends up happening is we're following trumpet players, dancers, puppets that have been placed over the black community. How many times do we have to look at what this black man said to understand what he actually meant? Was he saying don't follow no leaders or don't support black people? Or was he just simply saying quit following any old body? If somebody gonna lead, make sure it's something respectable. Quit jumping behind everything. Everything ain't for your benefit. But I'm just trying to show you, dog, because again, y'all conscious community cats are behind in actual intellect. You was in that Bible too long. You was chasing Thessalonians 1 for way too long to be in this conversation with me, bruh. I ain't never chased that. This is all I've ever done. I've always been a black leader, even as a kid in high school. So I don't need nobody to come and tell me what to do as far as blackness, as far as standing up, or any of that. You're not understanding the concept of getting those leaders today to a position where they become leaders. See what I'm saying? Now, the leaders being born thing, we have to deal with that. There's no criteria for a leader. There's no vetting process. Other communities will simply make someone a leader. Okay? Donald Trump ain't a leader. They made him a leader. Joe Biden failed many other times in attempting to become a leader and then finally became one, the one that you said he is now. We're being told by you that black people are leaders that are born. Of course, I have this prepared on the screen because you're remedial and you don't even realize what you got yourself into. I'm here to remind you, though, of what I was trying to tell you before you came and sat your ass down here with me, bro. Black people don't need nobody to tell them what to do. At some point, you have to know as a black person what to do.
Black people don't need to be told what to do. That's him saying, we don't need leadership. Let me ask a question. Can somebody whose position is we've been too willing to just make any old body a leader be the same one who would suggest this?
I don't think people need to be up under one specific person, bro. Like, listen to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you should know who is and ain't for you in listening, bro. I just don't get it.
Right. I agree with that shit. Cause you can clearly hear who is and who ain't for you.
We should listen to everybody, he said. My answer is no, because you can't have a problem with people following any old body when you said that we should listen to everybody. That was in that discussion with Midtown Pookie. Question. Can the person who says just be the leader in your own house be the same one who has KRS-One as a teacher and has suggested on more than one occasion that we should listen to everybody outside of our houses? I say no. How say you? And you also heard him pull that we don't need no one leader nonsense that I done heard 1,000 times. And he said that in 2020 about the one leader lie, but he just pulled it again recently with Lex Vortex.
I know you wasting time, nigga. I know you wasting time. And I'm just asking why. Because to me, these are the moments we let slip away. We had this moment in 2015. We already had this moment. I don't know if y'all realize we had this moment right here in our lifetime. We already had this moment, and we dropped the ball by doing what? Following a nigga with an afro with his fist up and sitting on his motherfucking knee. That's where you fucked up at. Following individuals. Man, follow the information, my nigga. You ain't supposed to be following no motherfucking people. The information is here for you. You can't see it? You can't see the information?
There, you heard it. One of his favorite words to use is information. Information this and information that. This is me about to get into that character I was talking about. I'll tell you later what follow the information means.
Shit that Kanye, that infuriates all these people. Well, these people be saying that shit right on here, bruh. And same reaction if more people heard them say it, man. So, like, you know, at this point, man, I'm just wondering, like, if it's even a point in anybody joining, like, any movements and shit, because it always seems to come back down to this, bro, where, like, you following people and not information. You know?
Information, yeah.
I think we're a collective movement just knowing the information. I think we would have a movement in itself if we all knew what the hell we was talking about. Like, I don't think people need to be up under one specific person, bro. Like, listen to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you should know who is and ain't for you in listening, bro. I just don't get it.
We could have a movement based on the information. And who is we? You're your own individual and man and leader in your own home. So, what's all this we talk? Of movement, you said. A leaderless movement. A leaderless movement would be motionless, though. I brought up his character at the beginning because of what I've said 1,000 times in the past when I talk about this anti-leadership stuff. The person that speaks against having leadership is either looking to have themselves seen as the one to guide people, and or they want for people to be guided by someone that they want for the people to follow behind. Now, earlier I played Midtown Pookie saying he feels sorry for us, and Taz saying that we should listen to everybody. Let's hear that again, plus what he went on to say. Pay close attention to his last words about reparations.
I don't think people need to be up under one specific person, bro. Like, listen to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you should know who is and ain't for you in listening, bro. I just don't get it.
Right. I agree with that shit. Cause you can clearly hear who is and who ain't for you. That's for sure. But I don't know. I get some of these people like I don't know, like I don't know. Sometimes I be feeling sorry for our people because like they really do be needing people and shit like that. Like need people to follow and shit like God damn, like you don't have like
different shit, bro. I just, like I said, I'm on something different because, like, that's what a lot of these people want sons. They want people to follow. They want them to say their name. And since I'm not for that, like, I'm telling you, I come off like I'm hating on niggas and this and that. It's like this comment right here. It speaks to what I was just saying, bro. It said, it's bigger fish to fry. We got to stay focused. We need land, reparations, and a whole bunch of other shit. Yeah, but what land are we going to get? What reparations? Do you even know a beginning blueprint of reparations?
Fast.
And the land that was in Oklahoma, that some of that should be our land. Like while you march everywhere else, march through Oklahoma and let the motherfuckers know that history. But
right.
And they people don't know shit, bro. Right. They're saying the right shit. We need land. We need reparations. Yeah, but can you lay out? If the white man sat you down right now and said, "Lay it out for me," then what I owe you? Can you do it? And most of these motherfuckers can't, bruh. I'm down with anybody and lay out the whole case. Most of these people can't do it. They just talking, bruh.
Listen to how he dismissed damn near everybody and deemed himself as the one capable of laying out the case for reparations. He does that a lot. Calls himself the greatest on all topics. His problem with leadership is that he's a hater and he wants people to look at him as the guide. Taz describes himself as the best around. He's also recalcitrant. Recalcitrant means to have no regard for authority. And this is his problem with the description of leader. He's high and mighty minded, and he is a spirit of disorder and having no regard for order. This is where that be your own leader junk comes from. The spirit of a recalcitrant. The recalcitrant is a mental delinquent. And here we have one that's been on here thinking that he can tell people what to do and what not to do. He said most people wouldn't be able to lay out a blueprint for reparations, right? Then designated himself as the one capable. Let's hear from a different stream of his.
Club, the cornballs, these weak ass niggas who use this platform to attack women. So yeah, when people like Tariq can flip it up and all of a sudden he talking about manhood, he got drunk Joe Brown up there like he wasn't talking about Harriet Tubman. They doing conferences. Okay, is anything on the agenda for this election? You think you're going to hear ADOS or FBA on that debate stage tonight? And for some, see, that might not be important, but for me, I sat back and watched all y'all all last year. ADOS, FBA, ADOS, making it sound like this was real, something was happening. So if I pull down on Tone Talks and say, well, what up, my nigga? That like didn't nothing happen, bruh. All this yapping and I don't see no agenda, what's really good? But they gonna say I'm hating, ain't they? Meanwhile, it's another black man out here pushing this fraudulent narrative that he can somehow get us somewhere. And people bought that shit. They listening to these little movements and shit. Y'all think people supposed to conform and join these little movements? That's what they mean by coming together. I'm just trying to show y'all before we get deep into this.
Essentially tells people to stop talking about it. Meanwhile, if you check his channels, he continues to talk about it. He's a recalcitrant and a hater. He wants to be seen as the leader outside of people's houses. Even said the talk ain't produced nothing. Again, but it's because he thinks he's the man. And did you hear the anger in his voice at the thought of a formation? You know, the come together thing. Upset him much it did at the thought of that. That's the spirit of a recalcitrant you heard. Now Taz's son plays football. Taz encourages him to do so. He encourages his son to be told what to do and when to do it by a dude named Coach, who is overall team leader. But does Coach live in Taz's house? Or does Taz's son live in Coach's house? I'm assuming not. I asked because Taz said be your own leader and be the leader of your own house. But let his son be led by the dude named Coach and whoever the team captain is. Taz is a football fan. He's a 49er fan, if I'm not mistaken, like I was before I quit watching football years ago. But he is a National Football League fan where hundreds of men are being told what to do outside of their own homes. He's silly.
We starting a pro-white righteous movement. That's what I'm starting. I'm pro-white righteous. That's what I'm with. And so I don't give a fuck. I'm saying it publicly. I don't give a fuck how you feel. I don't give a fuck who you is. Black, white, Chinese, whatever. If you can get with that, I can get with you. I'm willing to fuck with anybody who's willing to do that.
Psychopathist, man. Good looking on that footage, man. That's why I say we have to document these things, because I don't want to search through 1,000 videos to see the obvious. You know what I'm saying? This is why people got to document it, man, because some of these people ain't pro-black. Clearly, they'll tell you that. But like I said, they're the first ones in line to give you instruction. I don't think we can keep accepting that. If you are not pro-black, you cannot be the teacher. You shouldn't be delivering messages to the black community. Any message coming from you is an outside message because you're not pro-black. We have to walk in that light. If you're not speaking to me as a pro-black person and you're black, then it has to take some of the validation off of your words. Who's having you come and talk to me, dog?
The voice you heard Taz responding to was young Pharaoh. And there you heard Taz talking about the leadership of black people and what that leadership needs to be and who it shouldn't come from. But could this be the same man who says that black people don't need to be told what to do? I say no. How say you? Same one who said we should listen to everybody also says don't listen to certain people. This dude is silly. Let me play this. It's Taz crying about Native Americans being given some land in Oklahoma in 2020. His video is titled ADOS Oklahoma. How is the state of Oklahoma theirs?
About the Trail of Tears and how the United States government allegedly moved all of the lighter-skinned Indians west. They left the dark ones in the South as slaves. Some of the Indian tribes that were moved kept slaves. They took those slaves with them on their westward bound trip. What we rarely talk about in history when we talk about, let's say, the gold rush of 1849. Well, we don't talk about the impact that slaves had on that. Generally, it's just a conversation about the gold rush, the miners, and the things around it that are unrelated to slavery. But if those Indians and whites took slaves west with them, well, everything that was found and everything that they have, well, it wouldn't just be one-sided. It wouldn't just belong to the Indians. See, you can talk about treaties from the 1700s, but before the United States became the United States, whoever land it was does not matter. These arguments about a war that was lost, well, it's silly. But the fact that
that the United States government is entertaining those arguments means we need to get in them. It's almost like they're willing to give up land to people who can prove that they were once there. People will sit here and talk you to death about slavery, but we have a hard time getting the conversation going about now post-slavery and recouping those things that we lost during slavery. There's no reason to believe that when America tells you that all of that land belongs to Indians, that you should believe that. Some of that land inhabited slaves, and some of that land inhabited the mixed Indians. To just claim it's theirs and leave it at that, when they have a dark history that they never get called out on, well, I see that as problematic. See, we should be able to sue their sovereign nation for reparations then.
That's him missing the leadership that he say we don't need. Heard him? Asking where we at in this stuff and where is our stuff. He said we need to get into conversations about reparations, and some of the land the Native Americans was given should be part ours, and that we should be trying to recoup what black slaves lost, and we should be trying to sue Native Americans. Hey, listen, Mr. We don't need leaders. Native American leaders obtained that for their people. That wasn't done by being the leader of their own houses, like Taz recommends for us. And maybe we not in those conversations because everybody running around too busy being their own leader like you say that we should be. In a video I did to Michi a while back about this, I asked her why is she complaining about how all over the place we are. And I asked her that because she was in her video saying that we should be our own leaders. And I told her that all over the place that she be complaining about is what happens when people are their own leaders.
I got this fucking black Mason hopping on my post talking about blacks and white Masons don't fuck with each other, but I got Nelson Mandela in the lodge. Fuck is you talking about? And that proved the point that these dumbass niggas who join the lodge, whether they be white or black, these lower niggas, they don't know what the fuck is really going on, but hey, I'm here to school them. I'm here to hip all these niggas.
See, the thing is, okay, like, when you say Albert Pike, so my thing with Albert Pike is, Albert Pike points to the conversation I started earlier when we're talking about the racism in the history of America. So Albert Pike would not be anybody other than an example of white people working together to continue on the legacy of, in Albert Pike's case, slavery. Albert Pike being Freemason is irrelevant considering that this country was started by Freemasons. I think black people have put a lot of energy into chasing symbols and nonsense as opposed to the things that actually affect us for real. So when you see these symbols and Marcus Garvey was wearing this and he was doing, I really don't care what he was wearing or what groups he was affiliated with. I'm watching your actions. And if your actions don't match up with what we need in the community, then I'm more so concerned with that as opposed to the label you have. Now, I do understand why people talk about the Illuminati and all that stuff, and it pretty much is a nefarious purpose for any of that. But when we start talking about people like Albert Pike, that is why we must be black first, because Albert Pike, even back in the 1860s, with his sentiment, you can still find that sentiment today in America.
Albert Pike. Those who don't know who that is, go look it up. His name is spelled Albert, P-I-K-E. That man leads even in death, just as Adolf Hitler. Dead and gone, but still followed by many. Lead even from the grave, people can do. And the person that understands this, like you heard Taz understand it, can't be the same person who says that we don't need leadership. But the clip I just played, why was Taz talking about what we need to be doing in the community? Inside his home is not the community. Heard the man say a group called Masons started this country. But Masons were leaders and got a nation established with it. And the title of the video that clip was sampled from is Debate, Should Black People Be Black First? Why is he asking that question when he was the one telling Lex that we are not a monolith? He told him we don't all think alike. He said we don't all have the same needs. Taz was doing his we don't need no one leader lie and was saying that no one person can fit all. You heard Lex respond to that, but there he was talking about how we all need to be black first, when that's the same monolithic thought that Taz said is a no-no. Now, something I recorded him saying back in March 2021.
Maybe I have a criminal record, but how about I'm not a criminal? Does that make any sense? And if it does, then it should register that I'm not pushing a criminal mentality, nor do I support one. So when we see criminals within our communities, the first thing that we do is act like we're supposed to run and tell the police about the criminals. See, I'm not here for that part of the argument. I don't agree with that. But that's a different topic. Once you've made it to the media is when I'm going to deal with you. Because I'm not here to go in individual communities and try to change anything. I'm just simply here to report what's going on in those communities.
Report. There's that information thing again. But Lord have mercy, did this man just say that he's not here to change nothing in no community? I'm asking because that would mean that he wants other people to do it. People who take charge, the lead. That man who be telling people what we should and shouldn't do and how we should think said that he's not here to change nothing nowhere. He's just here to report, or in other words, give us the information. Hey, silly. The people who would be dispersing the information that people would follow would be the leaders. This dude don't make no sense. Just like the others I've dismantled on this subject. And I don't need to come and have a live discussion with any of y'all that tear this nonsense down.
Talking to my niggas. And my niggas are level. My niggas are here. My niggas are level with me. Eye to eye. They hear me and they know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, when you hear pain from me, it's experience. It's having gone through that already. So I'm not worried about being called emotional or any of that type shit. When I'm telling you some shit, it's real, because I'm not one of these niggas that's just saying, let's fix the black community by doing what I say. I'm one of these niggas that's in the black community. I'm from the black community. I am the black community. And you can't fix shit on YouTube. You want to fix some shit, you got to fix them individually. Go help these motherfucking people. Other than that, you just talking. Like, you actually gotta be boots on the ground trying to fix the community, and then that still ain't gonna be enough.
Now, was that the same man who said that he not gonna do nothing in no communities? Telling people, that they need to be out there with boots on the ground? Is if he is their leader? See, there was the recalcitrant. That's why he hates on leadership. And did he say that he is the black community? Sounding like a representative? Like a leader's duty is to represent? See, no, I don't need to have a live discussion with somebody to do this here.
These motherfuckers really creeping down here like this, man. These motherfuckers off the chain. Hell no. You welcome, Yvonne. But yeah, you think the call-in thing will work? I think see, and that's what I'm saying, like I think getting other people's perspective is very important in growth. Like I think being able to hear other people and know what they talking about is very important. You know what I'm saying? Like some people really, like their perspective can help you see a different perspective, like you, because I don't think we all supposed to always have the same thought process anyway. So like I think another person's perspective can kind of push your thoughts to greatness at times. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that shit is necessary. Like we gotta do that shit. We gotta listen to other people. We gotta be willing to let other people's voices be heard.
Heard that? That was the don't follow nobody, be your own leader in your house. We don't need to be told what to do guy, saying that listening to other people can make you great. He had the nerve to protest it when Lex told him that he won't make his position clear. Taz is very deceptive. His thoughts are all over the place, but he didn't get it when Lex told him that. Same man who said we don't need to be told what to do is talking about listening to other people.
My question to you is this: do you set your sights on the next leader, or do you just become the leader? Do you become the leader you want to see, or do you just look for another dick to ride? You fucking pussy. That's a stupid question. You see, you still don't get the premise, you fucking dumbass. My premise ain't changed yet, you fucking coward. You're
a liar. You're a liar. You're playing some shit out of... Play the part when you said the only leaders we need is in the fucking household. Now asking me, do we need to look for a leader or become the leader is the obvious. Hold on. Let me, bro. It's rapid fire. Let me respond to the shit you just played. You asked me the question, should we look for a leader or become a leader? Nigga, if you have the ability, of course you should become the leader. So what the hell are you, nigga? Yo, you dead, bro. Close your eyes. Play the part. Let me ask you this, Taz. Taz, did you say the only leaders we need is in the household? Yes or no?
Yes, I did.
All right, nigga, you dead. So that's what started our conversation.
Hey, bro, you remedial dumbass. The reason why I said that, because once the leaders come from the household, then everyone's a leader. Now everybody's a leader. You create the leader from the household.
Listen, everybody being a leader defies the laws of physics. And there could be no leaders without followers. Period, point blank. Can't have one without the other. Taz says everybody can be a beacon, which is to say that ships can guide themselves in at night, but calls himself a teacher while he all over the place.
Like you following people and not information. You know?
Mason, yeah.
Again, with the follow the information stuff, which means follow him is what he's saying. Information. His other favorite word is conversation. Always hear him saying, conversation. We need to have the conversation. Why are we not having the conversation? These conversations need to be had. We need to get in on the conversations. The conversation. Because that's a place where he feels he can lead the people. This is why he'll tell you that you need to be boots on the ground, while he said that he not going to be out in no community changing nothing. Now let's look more at how he wants to customize what leadership means. How he wants leader to mean what he wanted to mean.
Okay, so I'll let you get that out. So now my question to you is this. Do you set your sights on the next leader, or do you just become the leader? Do you become the leader you want to see, or do you just look for another dick to ride? You fucking pussy.
That's a stupid question.
No, it's not.
Hold up.
It's a legitimate question. But I know a weak-ass mind.
Not everybody, listen, not everybody can fill the shoes of being that type of person. Now, if that's your destiny, if you was born to do that, if you was cultivated for that, if it's natural for you, then yeah, nigga, it'll happen. A leader, great leaders are born, nigga, and they eventually rise to the top to do that, you dumb motherfucker. But I just can't take a nigga like you and pull you out the back alley and say, nigga, you gonna be the next fucking Marcus Garvey, nigga. You ain't got it. So, but that don't change the fact that we need leaders, you stupid ass. Yo, you're not even, honestly, bro, like, the only reason why I will debate you, the only reason why I will debate you is just to stop the nigga nonsense. So give me a date, not because I think you're worthy, because the shit's already over. Just listening to you, just listening to your dumb ass, I can see you don't make no motherfucking sense. So you got a date, nigga?
Out of the back alley.
Did they pull Malcolm
out of the back alley?
No.
Where'd he come from?
He wasn't pulled out of the back alley, nigga. When I say pulled out of the back alley, I'm saying I can't walk into... Nigga, listen, I can't walk into a back alley and choose a random nigga. Malcolm X was a leader even when he was in the fucking streets, nigga. He went to prison and ran into some motherfuckers that gave him some knowledge. He was already a leader. He was already a leader, dummy. He's a leader.
So he's the leader of a burglary ring? You calling that a leader?
What?
So you look at Big Meech as a leader too, huh?
Yeah.
Right. See that again? That's why I just said, bruh, are you sure you understand the premise of this debate? Because when you ask me, do black people need
dumb nigga?
Once you tell me you understand that you tell me Big Meech is a leader, and then you tell me you also need leaders, you're not even understanding my simple point that anybody like Big Meech, like Rick Ross, like Tookie Williams can be a leader. We need to be leaders for our own children. Do you get that? Before we go into this debate, do you understand that?
Yes, I understand it, and it's
okay, cool. All right.
It's stupid. All right. There, you got motherfuckers that lead in one thing and another. That's why I said Malcolm X was a leader on the street. But when he got in a position where he can lead for the right thing, then his talents are used to maximize the potential and bringing people to the best. So if you don't know that Big Meech is a leader, you dumb motherfucker, that don't mean that every leader, when we talk about do we need leaders, that means what direction? Nigga, just if Big Meech took that same energy, shut the fuck up, nigga. If Big Meech took that same energy,
question if Malcolm was a leader. Because he wants to make it to where if it's criminal, it's not a leader. But yes, Malcolm being the leader of a burglary ring meant that he was the leader of that, yes. Then question if Big Meech was a leader, even though that's what he's sitting in the penitentiary for right now, being the leader of a criminal organization. Right, see, you don't get to say it's not a leader just because you don't like it. Makes no sense, just like he wants leadership to be wrong if it's white, but he keeps complaining about all the black leadership that led us astray and sold us out. He wants to customize leadership as a color. He wants to customize it as a color, which is more folly in his thinking.
The only way that you can show me something was done is show me how we benefited. I can show you how we benefited from Dr. King. See what I'm saying? I can show you how Dr. King's thought process was even a motivational factor for Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X didn't lead a nation and start airing them out. He left the nation and started talking about how they work tactically. So like I say, man, it's a hard argument to sell me about anything
how Martin inspired Malcolm. But was Martin living in Malcolm's house, you moron? So Martin was the leader of Malcolm's household, right? And how come you didn't diss Malcolm and call him a follower who just went around looking for people to follow? The shame and tactics you counterfeit hoteps try to pull. Oh, y'all just looking for a messiah. Y'all just looking for somebody to follow. Or y'all are described as looking for a dick to ride. Taz is in defiance of nature. The up and the down, the light and the dark, the left and the right, the yin and the yang. No leaders without followers. They go together, can't have one without the other. Whatever kind of leadership that he's suggesting is in his silly head. There couldn't be leaders without followers. See, he wants to make leadership a personal thing. Oh, that's not my leader. I lead me. Be your own leader in your own house. But for years, he's spoke in this collective manner, in a for the people type of way, like when it comes to things that go on around us. Let me play you an example of that.
No, they're actually not organized by anybody. They're actually just a solid movement.
They just fucking randomly got together one day and met up and said, we're going to the mountains out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You stupid ass nigga.
Yeah, everybody's not leading. Everybody ain't sitting around looking for the person to leadership. I mean, it makes me wonder about who's your leader?
Nigga, I asked you a question.
Black man, who's
I
your
asked
leader?
you a question.
Bitch ass nigga, I asked you a question now. I done answered all yours. Who's your leader?
Nigga, you done. I already showed the world that you're inferior and your intellect
You're showing the world right now how cowardly you are because it's my
stupid.
Who's your leader,
nigga,
who's your leader,
what people, what nation do not have representatives and leaders?
You can't make one.
Can you answer the question, sir?
Is Joe Biden your leader, nigga?
No, Joe Biden's
so
not
who your leader, nigga? Pussy. Who your leader? Pussy.
All the niggas that you hate.
Oh, boy, you don't have one, right? You don't have a leader. Be honest. You're leading yourself, right?
We have leaders we have leaders. We're not satisfied.
As a man,
not satisfied.
Fucking pussy. As a man,
not satisfied with all our leaders.
Right.
But we need them. We need them, dumbass.
If you're not satisfied with them, what do? Sit back and keep following?
That's why people vote. That's why even in tribal situations.
You heard it? Who is your leader? As a man, who leads you? But that thing he calls white supremacy, and that people he sees as the dominant society, that dominant society and that supremacy that he pretends that he wants to see defeated, those two things he sees as the supreme and the dominant got there by way of leadership in every category of life. While he's saying leadership is not needed to combat it, he's silly. And this is so typical of too many fake pro-blacks. Taz wanted to make it into a thing about individuals as opposed to a collective need. Who is your leader? Right? They become personal, like individuals, when at first they were speaking in a collective sense. Like you heard Taz talking all this we stuff at first, like with the black people being entitled to the Oklahoma thing.
A child?
No, if you're a leader in your house, does that make you the leader at the motherfucking community school?
It don't make you a leader inside nobody else's organization.
Bro, I said at the community school.
Are you
that you already agreed the children, if they live in the same community, there's a school in a community, they all go to the same school, even though they're in different houses. Now, you as a leader of your house, are you the leader of that school?
Are you not hearing yourself trying to...
Nigga, answer the question.
Okay, so...
Answer the question.
Stupid ass in the back. What are you talking about? Children are not the leaders at school. Okay, since you can't seem to have a conversation, I'm going to put your stupid ass in the back every time I can't answer. Children are not the leaders at the school. You have to be more concise in what you're saying.
This nigga said children. Of course children are not the leader at the school. I said, you said you're the leader of your house. if there's children in the community and those children go to the same school in the community, if you're the leader in your house, you're not the leader at that school. So that means there is a leader outside of their household who is now a leader of your children, not only his children, but your children at that school. Yes or no?
Yes, there's a leader at the
Thank
school.
you, sir. Go to sleep. Have a good night.
Right, and this is why I call these niggas dumb as fuck. There's a leader at the school. That leader might be white. You fucking remedial dumbass. Most school administrators are white. We're talking about, do black people need leaders? And yo, man, listen, man.
The teachers are white. Like I said earlier, the man wants to customize what a leader even means. And see, this is why he reacted to the Malcolm and the Big Meech thing the way he did. But the coaches who taught them NFL players to do all them things he likes are white. The coach is a leader. And the coach is what? A teacher. And Donald Trump is white, but Taz spent 2 years telling people that we need to follow him. And I've done videos about that too. I remember you. And on the side note, I've been watching you since last September, backpedaling off your previous Trump supporting for some months. And you've been pretending that you were never on the side. And maybe one day I'll get on here and show people that you're backpedaling. I've been seeing you. Now let's hear Taz in December 2019.
See, when you're on the everyday grind, small things don't turn you into a follower. See what I'm saying? Just because some white men are competing for a position in white America, that don't mean you supposed to hop on board and choose a side, my brother. I ain't fucking playing with you niggas. These are supposed to be black men that are quick to come on here and tell you somebody should be followed when they leave, but who leave they following? First thing they came up, Democrat, Republican, Trump, Biden, it's black women's fault. Come on, man. See, we're too busy following. I mean, goddamn, somebody gonna win the presidency, right? But these men that are called leaders, why are they called leaders? Well, because we call them leaders. White America should call them people, but why? How are they leading black America? I mean, we have a clear understanding that politics don't play well for us on a national stage. So it would be easier to just call them Trump and Biden. But see, I hear people call him a president Trump, a president Biden. Man, that's Don and Joe, fam. These aren't leaders. Well, at least they shouldn't be. Not to a black man. Not in the eyes of a black man. These shouldn't be leaders. But, you know, let's get under some skin right quick, though.
See? They're that spirit of disorder. The recalcitrant who won't even recognize that their title is that of president. Months later, he meets Lex in a live discussion where Taz repeats that same nonsense I've heard him say last year, and he gets corrected.
But he want to say I'm remedial. This is basic shit. So at this point, I don't even know what type of trick you playing and what you came to argue. Are you here to argue that the only leadership you told me we needed was in the household? And then he says, look at this shit. Go to sleep right now, bro. He says, see, the problem is, and he makes it personal and throws an ad hominem. You're looking for a leader. You're looking for someone to follow and makes it personal, a person instead of you. I'm doing what I do. I didn't say that I would be the motherfucker that leads in every category or whatever. I mean, when it comes to black people knowing what we need to do, I'm probably the greatest mind on the motherfucking earth right now. And we can discuss other shit to prove that. Then the nigga said, Joe Biden is not my leader. I never voted for Joe Biden. Well, nigga, whether you like it or not, Joe Biden is the leader of the United States, and the decisions he makes is going to affect your life. So he is a leader. The nigga said Donald Trump was not a fucking leader. What kind of idiots now, whether I like Donald Trump, which I don't, to say he's not a leader is some dumbass. That's the ultimate level of dumbassedness. The president of the United States is not a leader. The person who's making, who's crafting laws and legislation that's going to affect the life of you and your children, he's not in a position of leadership. That's not a leader. See, the conversation is becoming childish at this point.
Lex points out how they are leaders and how they even affect the lives of you and me. So Taz's personal opinion is irrelevant.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, a lot of times I feel like niggas talk themselves out of some shit. Before the shit can even materialize, niggas like, nah, it ain't gonna happen. Nah, I don't want that. Nah, fuck them white people. I don't want shit from them. Like, we talk ourselves out of some shit before it even get a chance to happen sometimes. Like, we was saying fuck Trump before that motherfucker got elected. You know what I'm saying? Before he even won. It was already fuck that motherfucker. Like, that shit crazy. We say Trump hasn't done nothing to work with us on ADOS. Hell no, he haven't. But shit, can we really sit here and act like the ADOS agenda was put on his motherfucking desk?
Hey, wait a minute. Was that you responding to somebody in your chat room who said fuck Trump? That was you, wasn't it? Telling him that we need to work with Trump and put something on his desk before we can just dismiss him just because he's white. That was you about 1.5 years ago. He the leader of white America, you said, though. But you telling black people we need to go to him. Y'all keep that in mind next time you hear Taz try to shame people with that white people stuff like he told Lex those teachers are white. And if I sound contradictory, that's not my fault. It's his. Because he wants to be here, he wants to be there, he wants to be over there, he wants to be back here, he wants to be all over the place just so he could be right. And my thing is not even nothing to do with this nigga. I've been after niggas like him for years, even before he even showed up. Because my thing has been that whatever people think is wrong with us, no matter what aspect of life it is, the only thing that could get it on course for correction is
They're not telling you this camp is a disgrace.
How many times have y'all seen me play that? Everything this Hotep Negro said and does on this subject, every deception he's pulled, I've already hit on it before it even came out of his mouth on here. And I don't know how long this video gonna be. It looks to be pretty long, but I need it to be understood that this has little to nothing to do with him. Because he's just an additional dumbass along with the others.
So check this out. Off top, nothing I say and nothing most of any ADOS person is going to say has shit to do with no Yvette Carnell and no Antonio whoever. Nigga, this is something that predates them and they're just names that's speaking on the topic. So let's leave their names out of it because they're not the leaders of anything and don't mix up I would say the majority of people who speaking on ADOS has their own firm understanding of it. Nobody's going to them for lessons. They're just the face of it. And shout out to them for getting the convo started.
There's the recalcitrant in him you heard there. That's the recalcitrant. Saying that Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore are not the leaders of what those two actually did start. And I first played that clip approaching 2 years ago when I first addressed Taz on his anti-leadership trash that he be talking. And somebody needs to ask this man, how will reparations be acquired without leaders then? How do we get it without leadership? He needs to get asked that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not. but you can most definitely be yourself first because you're a fucking American descendant of slaves. You're that anyway. Like I said, you was that when you was born before you ever had any knowledge of what a Pan-African was. You was already ADOS. You know what I mean? So like, it's time out for the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we being intellectually moved out of our places, dog. Like we had some good shit going with Black Lives Matter, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I said that shit the other day in a video. We had some trouble brewing for these motherfuckers, man. We let the whole George Soros and all of that shit get in the way of what was a good ass movement. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we ain't have to follow it because some transgender started it or because George Soros funded it. Like all of that shit don't matter in the end. We had some traction. So just think if we had that same traction now and then took that same Black Lives Matter energy we had a few years ago and translated that over to ADOS, where will we be now? You know what I'm saying? You can't say they not with us, Cat Lego. You can't say they not with us because I was one. I was a nigga. I got a Black Lives Matter motherfucking, matter of fact. Sure, I like Black Lives Matter for real. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is real. Black Lives Matter is not just a fucking slogan. This shit is real. This shit is fucking real. It is not just a slogan. Black lives actually do matter. You see this shit? Black fucking lives matter. It's not a fucking slogan. It's not some shit that we just say for the fuck of it. I don't. And I'm not speaking to no organization. I'm speaking about y'all niggas. Y'all niggas lives matter to me. So I don't give a fuck about George Soros. I don't give a fuck about their funding. I don't give a fuck about no organization. I don't give a fuck about no trans women that started it. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I give a fuck about the 3 words themselves. Black Lives Matter.
No, time out yourself for being a dum-dum. More of the recalcitrant saying that he don't care about the funding that it took or the leadership that it took to put together that thing he liked called Black Lives Matter. This cat has spent damn near 3 years defending Black Lives Matter. And Yvette and Tone even gave him a name that he adopted called ADOS, but saying that we don't need leadership. This dude is silly. And last, but definitely not least, the title switch game. He played that too, just like the we don't need no one leader thing, the be your own leader thing, and all the other stuff. It's the same old, same old. He does everything that all the other hoteps do, and not just on this subject of leadership either. But he gets very angry when people group him in with the other artificial pro-blacks, even though his modus operandi and manifesto is likened to the rest. And he even pulls the title switch game where, you know, they try to shame people about the description of leader. So they switch it and they'll say something like, we don't need leaders. We just need a body of administrators. Or we don't need leaders. We just need people willing to stand tall. Or we don't need leaders. We just need people to coordinate it. And I've talked about this title switch game over and over. I've heard it all before, and I've heard it even before he came on here with it. Let's hear the switch.
A way I could put it in presentation form, and so I'll speak to it in whatever it is that don't come across, or whatever you got questions about, you can ask. But I just speak to it because this has been on my mind for a few months now. This thing about why we aren't gatekeepers. So let me tell you where I'm coming from the base level, from the beginning, the foundation of this. So we have these conversations, right? And people will jump at them and say, well, who are you? You don't speak for all black people, or you don't define what black is. You can't determine what black is. This is where that comes from. There used to be people that define black, and those people were generally called pro-black, for lack of a better
sure people didn't come in outside our community and take our messages. So like the Rachel Dolezals, the Colin Kaepernicks, where are the gatekeepers that keep those people from taking our image and representing it? See, it's always these conversations about what the white man doing and, you know what I'm saying, how much control these celebrities and shit are under. But see, if there were gatekeepers, they wouldn't be able to get a lot of this shit off. Like, for example, you see how when the thing happened with Kobe Bryant, for example, there were people who tried to rush to the gates. You know what I'm saying? You know, we speaking metaphorically. They tried to rush to the gates to control the understanding. But as a gatekeeper, I was already at the gates, fam. I'm a gatekeeper. That's why when look at the definition, a person that controls access to something. Okay, when it comes to blackness, nigga, I can't control access to it, but I can make sure that you know that we're not just going along like we used to.
Now we all know that gatekeeper means those that protect the establishment. This is common knowledge, but you heard him do what he wants to do with the word leader, which is to make leader what he wants it to mean. There he makes gatekeeper into meaning people who protects the integrity of black people, then called himself one. The title switch. They have issue with the word leader, so he switches it to gatekeeper. The dude is a deceptive, habitual liar. And I told you that people who do this anti-leadership thing wants people to see them as the leader. Attempts to shame, as if something is odd about following, as if following is not something that is innate and inherent in human beings. But I remember Haven Bullitt some years ago having a discussion with, I think that, if I'm not mistaken, that was Pro-Black Chris. Pro-Black Chris asked Haven something to the effect, why are these conscious people still around with this nonsense? And Haven said, because you can't kill them. You can only turn them into zombies. And that's what Taz is. Dead. Dead on this subject and other subjects, but he's dead. But he keeps talking on the subject. A dead man walking.